All right, let's get right into it. We're about to unpack some seriously powerful study techniques. Methods that are so fast and so effective, they honestly feel like you're cheating. You know the feeling, right? You've got a huge exam on the horizon, you crack open your textbook, and bam. Suddenly your brain is looking for any escape route possible. Oh, just one more video. Maybe I need a snack. My sock drawer could really use an organizing session right now. Anything but studying. Yeah, and sometimes those excuses get pretty creative. Look, this feeling is totally universal. But what if I told you the problem isn't that you lack willpower? What if it's something else entirely? Okay, get ready for this because it's a shocker. A massive 90% of students are studying inefficiently. That's right, they're putting in the hours, for sure, but they just aren't getting the results. Why? Because they're using these old, passive methods. It's kind of like trying to fill a bucket that's got a giant hole in the bottom. So listen, the big thing to get here is this. If you've been struggling, it is not a personal failure. It's a strategy failure. And the great news is, we can change our strategies. In this explainer, we're going to give you a whole new toolkit. First things first, we have got to get a handle on the two most important resources you have, your time and your focus. These next few hacks, they're all about making your brain finally work for you instead of against you. This right here, this is the secret reason we all procrastinate. It's called Parkinson's Law. Basically, if you give yourself 3 hours to do something that should only take 1, your brain will stretch it out. It'll magically fill all that extra time with distractions and delays. But here's where it gets really interesting. We can actually flip Parkinson's Law and use it to our advantage. Instead of giving yourself this huge, scary block of time, you do the complete opposite. You tell yourself, okay, I only have 20 minutes to do this. And just like that, the task feels easy, right? It's manageable. Your brain stops fighting you, and it starts sprinting. So here's exactly how you put that into practice. You use a timer to create these fake deadlines. For 30 minutes, you go all out. I'm talking emergency level focus. No phone, no distractions. Then, and this is key, you take a 5-minute break completely guilt-free. Repeating this cycle keeps you from burning out and keeps your focus laser sharp. Now, building on that whole efficiency idea, let's talk about what you're studying, not just how long. The goal is to stop trying to learn absolutely everything, because not all information is equal. This brings us to the 80-20 rule. It basically says that about 80% of your results will come from just 20% of the material. Your mission is to find that critical 20%. How? Look at old exams, ask your teacher what the key topics are, and be ruthless about focusing on the stuff you find the most difficult. Okay, so we've got our time under control. Now let's upgrade how we actually learn. This section is all about moving away from just, memorizing facts and getting into deep, real comprehension that actually sticks. Man, Einstein really hit the nail on the head with this one. See, real understanding isn't about using big, complicated words. It's about being able to boil a complex idea down to its simplest parts. And that's the whole philosophy behind this next technique. I want you to meet the Feynman technique. It's one of the most powerful learning tools ever. The process seems simple, but it is so profound. You basically force yourself to explain a concept in the simplest terms you can think of, like you're talking to a kid. And when you do that, you immediately see the spots where your own understanding is shaky. Those gaps, that's exactly where you need to focus. Okay, now this one is a game changer. Most of us study passively. We reread our notes, we highlight stuff, and it feels like we're being productive, but it's super inefficient. The memory cheat code is something called active recall. This means you have to force your brain to pull out information from scratch, not just recognize it on the page. Every time you retrieve a memory, you make that pathway in your brain stronger. Think of it like this. It's the difference between watching someone do push-ups and actually doing the push-ups yourself. One builds real strength, the other, not so much. And here is a fantastic, super simple way to use active recall right now. It's called the blurting technique. After you finish reading a chapter, close the book, grab a blank page, and just blurt out everything you can remember. It's like an instant diagnostic test that shows you exactly what stuck and what didn't. So we've covered time management and we've covered learning techniques. For this last section, let's talk about the biological foundation of it all. These are simple, totally free hacks that will make everything else we've talked about way more effective. Here's something you have to understand. Learning doesn't just happen when you're sitting at your desk. Your brain does the heavy lifting of storing memories while you sleep. Seriously, pulling an all-nighter is one of the worst things you can do for your memory. And exercise? Even a quick 10-minute walk can boost your focus and help you retain information. These aren't luxuries, they're absolute necessities for learning well. All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull it all together into one simple, really powerful formula you can start using today. This is your ultimate cheat sheet. And here it is, 6 simple steps to completely change how you study. You create that urgency with short sprints. You work smarter, not harder, with the 80-20 rule. You make sure you really get it with the Feynman technique. You burn that information into your long-term memory with active recall. And you support the whole system with the fundamentals, sleep and exercise. This is the formula. But remember, just knowing this stuff isn't enough. Applied knowledge is power. So look at this list. Which one of these hacks are you going to try today? Don't wait. Pick one, use it, and start making your studying feel illegal.